Hey everyone, today in this video, I'm going to be checking out the Roborock. This is the Qrevo Slim. Roborock did send me the sample, but any opinion expressed in this video is strictly my own. That being said, if you're interested in this product or you want to find out more about it, the link to it will be in the video description. Here's a look at the retail box and packaging. Very simple and straightforward. Now let's go ahead, let's open it up and see what's inside. Here are some of the contents. We'll get to the vacuum and the station in just a moment. First, you'll notice all of our product literature, user guide and manual, safety info, voice control instructions, additional product info with the breakout diagram and chart, quick start guide here with setup instructions, power cord and cable in that Roborock gray color, which I really like, just a standard power cord. We have a ramp here for the station, honeycomb design on the underside. That just snaps right in. We have our mopping pads and modules right here that'll install on the vacuum, and the mop pads are Velcro and removable. We also have an extra vacuum bag here. Now let's look at the robot vac itself. Here's a look at the Slim. We'll start with the top. You'll notice there's no LiDAR navigation module on this unit like other Qrevo devices or even just robot vacs in general that are equipped with LiDAR. They'll have a module up here. All of this navigation is done on the front and the sides with its sensors. We do have multiple controls and intelligent voice assistant branded at the top. We also have Roborock's logo and branding down on the other side. This is a removable magnetic cover revealing our internal dustbin and app setup code there. Here's a look at the dustbin from all different sides and angles. We have our filter cleaning instructions. This just pops right off. There's a look inside the dustbin if you ever need to empty or clean it manually. And then we can remove the filter too. It's going to be on this side. You just press and it comes right out. And then we can snap that in place as well. And there's a look with the dustbin removed. And looking at the very front, this is where all the magic happens with their Starsight autonomous system here to see and process everything in real time. We still have a navigational bumper as well. There's a look at the play of that on the side. Here's a look at the back side right here with this flap. That's where all of the contents will be sucked out from the self-empty. Starsight autonomous system right here. Again, got that branding. How cool is that? Then we have charging contacts here. Looks like we got our water inlet, some venting. Here's a look at the side with some additional sensors. And then back towards the front, we got the FlexiArm design here. That arm's going to kick out and clean for us in those hard to reach areas. I love the FlexiArm design. Man, this Starsight system's really cool. So again, the front and this side and the other side right here. Looking underneath, we can see our FlexiArm design again from another angle as it can extend that far out and continue on with its side brush sweeping. We have multiple cliff sensors, omnidirectional wheel, spring-loaded drive wheels, Roborock's duo roller riser system here with the dual rubber rollers. We can remove to get access to clean or detangle as needed. We can also swap those out, and then that just snaps right back shut. And then down here, this is where the mop pads are going to be installed, and they just snap right in place. This side has the same FlexiArm design, right? For the side brush, they also have the ability to kick out the mop pad. So if we put one in, we should be able to kick it out. I'm not sure if I can manually force it or not. I don't want to break anything, but we should be able to kick that mop out. It will come out in real time right here and extend out past the vacuum, just like the side cleaning brush, right? So we can get closer to corners, edges, and things along those lines. Mop pads just snap right into place. Very easy installation. And then they'll spin just like you see right here. And they can lift up and down depending on when it encounters carpet or not. And onto the multifunctional dock where all the magic happens. Let's take a look at the very top first. You'll notice we have a dirty water icon and a clean water icon here for our removable water tanks. Here's a close-up of the dirty water tank from all sides and angles. We'll open it up too. It just snaps open and closed. And we have our little float there on the inside when it's full. And here's your close-up of the clean water tank on the side here. We have a max indicator marker up at the very top. Not on the other side though, just that one side there. See it from all different sides and angles. We can open this one up a little bit different internally as this one is taking water out versus putting water back in like the dirty water tank. Next is the left side profile here, and I really like the little design and aesthetic that we have versus just the typical boring old black molded plastic. I like the attention to detail here with the plus pattern that you're seeing. Here's your right side view. Same thing. We got the pattern up here. It looks nice. Here's a look at the underside. We got 4 grip feet here, and we have tons of Phillips head screws that we can remove if we ever need to have access to the inside for any sort of maintenance or detangling, decluttering, declogging. You can achieve that right here with just a common Phillips head screwdriver. Here's a look at the back side. We have additional product info right here and built-in cable management. Power plug plugs into the side, and then we can route the cable out the left or the right side of the unit in these channels so we can get a more flush mount up against our wall, furniture, or wherever you place this station. And last but definitely not least, here's a look at the very front. Indicator light up at the top. That same pattern all throughout. That looks really nice. Roborock's logo and branding. This cover does remove. It just pops right out. So just pull it away from the unit. That reveals our already installed vacuum bag that we can take out to install new ones if needed. You can see inside with it removed. They have instructions for showing you how to install a new vacuum bag. It just slides right back in. And then down here at the bottom, this is where everything happens. Charges, refills, empties, washes, cleans, and dries itself. It also washes and cleans the station. So these plates are removable if you ever want to rinse them yourself. But this will wash itself too, which is really cool. So if you can see down in there, the removable tray here, you have a variety of maintenance things for your mopping system as well as the station itself to stay clean. And to assemble the multifunctional dock, very simple, guys. This just clips right in place. So just line it up and press it right in. There you go. You're all set and ready to go. It's time to charge it up and try it out. All right, first clean is out of the way. Let's take a look at our real world results from vacuuming my house, which consists of a dog with long hair and 3 long-haired humans. So we'll start with the removable tray here. We have a little bit of debris here. So a little piece, looks like of a plant right there collected on the tray. And it's still a little bit wet for those that are wondering. And we can actually remove this piece So you can see down below, just a little bit of moisture still, even after sitting for a day after washing and drying. But that will continue to evaporate. That looks great. And this guy right here is the reason why you want that tray removable, even if it washes itself, so you can occasionally remove the tray and wash, rinse, and remove any larger objects that may collect there. Onto the vacuum. I turned off the self-empty so we could make sure we could see all the contents before it got sucked out and emptied into the vacuum bag. So we're gonna remove the dustbin here. Take a look. It's already jam-packed full of a lot of hair, and I see some larger crumbs and debris down below. So we're going to remove the filter so you can get a close-up there. All the really fine dirt and dust that's already starting to collect and accumulate. Never a bad idea every once in a while to get a little bit more life out of your filter. You can just shake it off like what we're doing right there. Look at all that really fine dirt and dust that's already collected in there. That's so great that it's actually trapping it versus exhausting it back out through your house. And then here's a look at the initial clean. And we'll dump all that out. Christmas tree, needles, pet hair. We got a bead from my daughters. You can see the larger crumbs in here, food. Got pieces of cheese, rice, candy, all that good stuff in here. Get that bead out of there. A lot of crumbs still collecting in there. But let me give you a close-up. We got a piece of popcorn. I mean, you get the idea. Really fine pet and human hair, dirt and dust, plants, clippings, whatever that you'll track in and around the house. This will be able to vacuum it up. We'll make our way around the vacuum now too, so you can just see how it looks after our first clean. Very normal, just a little bit of dirt and dust collecting on some of our sensors here. So you want to keep an eye on that and wipe them down accordingly. And then underneath, let's investigate for any sort of tangles. We have a couple of fibers wrapped around our side cleaning brush. That is as expected. You'll want to peel those off, pull them away, cut them away as needed. Main brush roller looks great. No noticeable hairs here, but I found on the Duo roller system, the hairs will collect. Look at all the hair that is on the ends. So it does a great job not trapping the hairs on the roller, but on both ends, you'll notice that hair will start to build up. And again, this is just after one pass, and we have tons of human hair on both sides and some fibers from our shag rug accumulating on both of the brush rollers. So just keep an eye on that long term. You'll want to cut those away. And looking at the mop pads, they look brand new. That's a testament to the washing, cleaning, and drying system on this vacuum with our all-in-one station that does a great job making these look fresh and clean every time. Let's move on to the Roborock app. Here's a quick overview of the app with some key settings, features, and controls that you'll want to spend a couple minutes on to get familiar with so you can configure this exactly how you want it. First, this is how your map's displayed right here, and on the map we can see icons and things that it identifies. Pet waste, cord, shoes, you get the idea. So all that shows up right here. And it's really accurate too. That is a chair and a TV stand there. Here's an obstacle. It even takes a photo of it too. So that's my foot while we were filming it. Pretty sweet. And that's always going to be from the last clean. So that'll change. But that's your map. Nice breakdown there. We can edit that map on the right-hand side. This allows us to set up no-go zones, virtual walls and barriers. All that can be accomplished right there. We can pick and choose our different maps. This does support multi-level mapping, and you can make all those customization options there. Below that's a camera icon where you can see real-time video monitoring as it can drive and patrol around your house. And then at the bottom we have 4 different tabs. Full clean, so that's going to clean everywhere. We have room by room clean, so pick and choose which rooms you want to clean. We have zone cleaning. You can add up to 5 zones at a time, drag and drop and customize each zone. Or you can set up a routine if you want. You can build that out here. Let me show you too at the bottom with the full clean selected. We have our different cleaning settings. Smart plan. Basically, Roborock's AI will intelligently plan and clean for you. We can do vacuum and mop, just vacuum, or a customized room by room clean. We can set that up for each individual space. If we're in the vacuum only settings, we have 5 different suction settings. Standard and basically our fast cleaning route options. Mopping only gives us 3 water flow levels, but we have 4 different route options, your fast, your standard, We have the deep and the deep plus. And then we have our vacuum and mop settings, 4 suction power, 3 water flow, and your standard and fast options right there. Right-hand side's our dock options. Return to the dock, wash the mop or dry the mop if it's on the station or back at the station. You'll see slightly different settings there. And then we have our dock settings where we can adjust a lot of the washing and drying times and features, turn on or off, dustbin. You get the idea there. Very detailed and thorough. And we have even more options in the top right-hand corner. We can view our cleaning history, put this on a schedule. I want to show you the floor cleaning settings. So we can change surface. We have our carpet cleaning settings. This is where we can choose what it does when it encounters carpet. Avoid, ignore, cross, or raise the mop pads. And you want to turn on or off carpet boost and deep carpet cleaning or vacuum carpet first. You have a lot of options there. So make sure you go to carpet cleaning settings and select that exactly how you want it. And then below that, we have our FlexiArm design. So the extended cleaning, we can toggle that on or off. So that's for the side brush. We have the extended mopping right below that. Automatic remopping, pet area deep cleaning, and then clean along floor direction. So make sure you have all of those set up. That's all under the floor cleaning settings. And then we have the dock settings. We talked about these. You can get at it from the previous screen, but here's everything in more detail. Mop wash frequency, washing mode, dustbin auto empty frequency. So again, you can pick and choose certain things here that you want to enable or disable. Drying duration, 2, 3, or 4 hours. Self-cleaning for the cleaning tray, so you can set that up too. So you can activate that if you want the station to clean itself. And then we have our reactive obstacle avoidance. You'll want to go in here for a minute. You can toggle it on or off. Same with the photos. I like having the photos on, personally. You have your collision mode options, none or standard. Pet snaps, AI, environment recognition, fill light. Basically, do you want to turn the LED light off? You can do that here. And then everything else is going to be like your common maintenance, and then manage maps. This is where we can set up multi-level mapping if you have multiple floors. You can choose that there, and then you can manage all of your maps down below and create new maps. Voice assistant, if you want to take advantage of the built-in Rocky voice assistant, you can do that, and they have all the different instructions and voice commands for you there. And you can adjust the volume. Remote viewing, again, that's going to be for the live video monitoring. AI laboratory, I went ahead, I toggled on these features. You can read about them and see if you want them on in your home. Robot settings, pin and go and remote control, so we can basically drop a pin on a map and it will go to that spot, and then we could do like a spot clean there and then send it back home. We can actually drive the robot with buttons or joystick controls. Spot clean, return back to the dock. And then everything else is like your product info, firmware updates, all of that there, followed by delete the device, so you can remove this from your account if needed. If you can't tell, I flew through that. This is a very detailed and highly customizable mobile app, really tailored to your cleaning preferences. For those curious about the Qrevo Slim and how it stacks up against the competition, let's do a deep dive comparing it to all the vacuums that we've personally tested. We're almost at that 100 number in our database, so this data continues to be refined over time as we test more and more samples. But we'll start first with cost. This gives us a great frame of reference for the overall value as we look at all the different features that it does or doesn't have, as well as its performance and how it stacks up against the competition. So our Qrevo Slim is about twice as much as your average typical robot vacuum cleaner. Let's go ahead and let's see what that extra cost gets you. First up, you'll find that we almost get double the typical suction power in a robot vacuum cleaner, so we're off to a good start. But what's interesting here is we have almost double the suction power, but looking at CFM scores, which is something that we measure in-house, we're right at the average of 6.9. Just like suction power, usually the higher the better is what you want to see for real-world results in deep cleaning. So in this case, I was expecting to see a higher result than what we got due to that suction power, but let's see how it actually did in the real world cleaning. In our carpet deep cleaning test, where we embed coffee grounds in the carpet and measure before and after, we got 3 points above average, which is great to see. I was expecting even better results, and technically we vacuumed up more coffee grounds than we were able to measure, but they were trapped in between the dustbin and the rollers, so take it for what it is. Very respectable score, but technically it did better. We just couldn't measure it because it wasn't in the dustbin. Next is decibels. This is how loud the vacuum is, so the greater the number, the louder it will be. We always measure this on max suction settings, vacuuming carpet with any sort of carpet boost enabled. We peaked at 72 decibels. That's right at the average, but again, that average usually has less than half of the suction power of this vacuum cleaner, so very respectable. It's technically the same in regards to loudness, but for the spec that it is, it's definitely on the quieter side. We also see a boost in runtime. This has up to 180 minutes of runtime compared to the average of 167. Those 13 extra minutes might be the difference from getting your whole house clean to having to go back to recharge and resume cleaning at a later time. And we get such great battery life due to the large battery capacity in this vacuum at 5,200 milliamp hours compared to the average of 4,000 milliamp hours. And for those interested, the largest battery capacity that we've seen so far is 6,400 milliamp hours. This vacuum is probably right on the cutoff from getting that larger battery due to where it's priced compared to other models. We tend to see that 6,400 milliamp hours right at the very top with the flagship premium of premium products within each brand's lineup. But 5,200's very respectable for what this vacuum is. And this is probably one of the biggest features and why you're looking at this vacuum compared to the competition. That's going to be the height. Usually for how advanced this vacuum is with its navigation, you have LiDAR modules up at the top. This one does not. That's why it's the slim version. All of that is embedded basically along the side and the back corner of the vacuum to allow it to replicate what other vacuums are doing. That gives us that slimmer height at the top. It's 3.2 inches compared to usually around 4 inches, give or take. So almost an inch less than your typical LiDAR equipped vacuum, and still very respectable 0.5 inches lower in height than your typical vac, which is a mix of both LiDAR and non-LiDAR equipped vacuums. So it's on the shorter side if height's important to you, depending on the furniture around your house. And maybe that's the difference from getting under that piece of furniture or not, giving you more cleaning capabilities than less. Moving along, let's talk about self-empty. This vacuum is equipped with self-empty. We're seeing that in about 67% of the vacuums that we've tested. Same thing can be said with mopping. This does have mopping capabilities. And it doesn't just stop at mopping. It has mop washing, drying, all of that good stuff. It's very advanced compared to your average typical robot vacuum cleaner, but it should be since you're paying twice as much. And this does have one of my favorite features in regards to mopping, which we look for in these premium vacuums, which is hot water mop washing. Now, I do want to point out it's 14 degrees less than the average typical hot water that we're seeing, but it's more than enough to make a difference. This vacuum's mopping also supports mop lifting, so when it encounters carpets, it's able to lift those mop pads up and out of the way to prevent contact or to allow it to make minimal contact with your carpets and rugs, depending on their height. 10 millimeter mop lift, that's right at the average that we're seeing. We'd like that even higher because, again, the higher it is, the less contact that it's making. But there's only so much room for it to go up unless you get really creative with how you would move the mops. We'll talk about that more in just a second. But first, this also has mop extending capability, so it's able to kick out the mop pad to clean along edges and corners a lot better than your typical mopping vacuum that can't do that. We're seeing that in about 15% of vacuums so far that have mopping also give us mop extension. And the creative way to get more distance between your mop pad and the carpets would be mop removal. This is one of our favorite features that we've seen on a couple models out there. Only 3% of the units that we've tested, and most of those are clustered within Dreamy Zone lineup, where it's able to actually automatically leave the mop pads at the station, go out, vacuum, come back, put the mop pads back on, all done automatically to go out and then finish mopping, so the mops don't make any contact with your carpet whatsoever. And iRobot does this a little bit differently. Their system has a design where basically just lifts the mop pad up and out of the way and stores it on top of the vacuum when it's cleaning your carpets. Speaking of iRobot, they're known for their dual roller brush system. Roborock has started to incorporate that on some of their select models. We tend to see that on higher price models, and this vacuum is equipped with their duo roller system. We're only seeing dual rollers in about 26% of vacuums that we've tested, but that skews a lot lot higher for iRobot Roomba models. Another great but often overlooked feature is main brush lifting. This vacuum does support that. Only 1% of the vacuums out there that we've tested do. That is really a top of the line premium flagship feature, so it's pretty impressive that we have it on this particular vacuum. And right in line with that is side brush reaching. I love this feature where the side brush actually kicks out and cleans in corners and hard to reach areas. With that circular design going up against a 90-degree corner, there's always a little space in between. That side brush now can reach out and make sure and guarantee that it's getting everything in that area and providing you with more thorough coverage than your typical vacuum equipped with a side brush that doesn't reach out or extend. And this is one of the few models where you can actually see clearly the LED light module. A lot of vacuums in the high end will have it, but it's more hidden. And I like that we actually have controls within Roborock's app to turn the light off if for some reason we don't want to have it use the fill light. You have the option to turn it off. This last feature, I guess, can be a little bit controversial depending on your privacy concerns. I would argue if you're using anything connected to the internet, you already have privacy issues. But this does have a camera that you can access for live video monitoring, so you can patrol around the house, you can go find your pets. It's a nice option to give you more functionality out of your robot vacuum cleaner. Check on your pets while you're away from the home. Maybe you're upstairs, you hear something downstairs, you want to dispatch your vacuum to go look. You can do that with this vacuum. Now, it is interesting to point out that you can't take photos or videos. There's no options for that, even though it will use the camera to take photos of obstacles if you opt into that. But there's no manual photo or video button if you wanted to snap any photos or videos using live video monitoring. So where does that leave us in regards to the Roborock Qrevo Slim? Let me share with you my final thoughts. Here's what you need to know. I was really excited to try this particular Qrevo vacuum within Roborock's lineup because of its Starsight navigation, which basically uses 3D time of flight in solid state LiDAR to navigate and process your house, ditching the module up top, adding one off to the side here, and giving us that slimmer profile. The good news here is I couldn't tell a difference, so that is really exciting. That's a great thing. It's not any worse than the system up top. So if you're looking for that slimmer Roborock, you want that shorter height to get under more furniture and obstacles around your house, well, here you go. They gave you a really solid solution. But I'm not going to sugarcoat it either. I was hoping that with the Starsight system, we'd get better obstacle avoidance. I haven't seen that so far. I wouldn't say it's any worse, but I had high expectations that it would be better. So I had lower expectations that it would navigate just as well. So it definitely exceeded those, but I had higher expectations that they would improve the obstacle avoidance, which in my case, in the opinion, it's still lacking compared to the competition. And when I say competition, I mean iRobot and Dreamy. But let's continue on highlighting the good with this vacuum: the dual roller brush system, the mop extend. We have the side brush extend as well. Don't forget about the main brush lifting, fast mapping, quick charging, all that good stuff that you've come to love within Roborock's lineup. That's all available with this Qrevo Slim here, and the added benefit of that smaller form factor and shorter height. And on the other side of that, I mentioned this earlier, but the obstacle avoidance definitely would be probably the biggest thing I'd want to see improved in the future. Also, I'd love to have the photo and video capture options in the live video monitoring as well. And depending on how hairy your household is, you will notice some hair starting to tangle and accumulate at the ends of the roller brushes, not on the brush itself, but right at the very end, that you will have to keep an eye on and maintain as the tangles grow. And lastly, for those of you out there that are shopping the Roborock Qrevo lineup, if you're trying to figure out where this falls into place, basically just view this as the Roborock Qrevo Master Slim. This basically has the same spec as the Roborock Qrevo Master. This, though, gets an extra 1,000 pascals of suction and the Starsight navigation, so slightly better suction power and the different navigational system, which makes it a little bit shorter. It's basically the more powerful and shorter version of the Qrevo Master.